fact our generation has to face is this. Our kids are less cognitively capable than we were at their age. Since we've been standardizing and measuring cognitive development since the late 1800s, every generation has outperformed their parents. And that's exactly what we want. We want sharper kids. And the reason for this largely has been school. Each generation spends more time in school. We use school to develop our cognition. Congratulations, you see your correlation. Until Gen Z. Gen Z is the first generation in modern history to underperform us on basically every cognitive measure we have, from basic attention to memory to literacy to numeracy to executive functioning to even general IQ, even though they go to more school than we did. So why? What happened? What happened around 2010 that decoupled schooling from cognitive development? It can't be school. Schools basically look the same. It can't be biology. This hasn't had enough time to change. The answer appears to be the tools we are using within schools to drive that learning. Across 80 countries, as Gene was just saying, if you look at the data, once countries adopt digital technology widely in schools.
Hey, Shalom. This is what I've been saying. All praises to Yahweh Shem El Shai. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and citation to the elect. And all the brothers pushing this work in sincerity and truth. This is a brother to mine from GMS Toronto, coming at you with another video. So I made this point. I didn't have to listen to this guy to know that technology has ruined the minds of these children. Okay, because it fucks up your attention span. It doesn't allow you to use your brain properly, right? And I'm friends with a teacher. She's on my island or whatever, and she's telling me, I was having a conversation with her a couple of days ago, and she was telling me that the students that she teaches, they're about to take their exams to go into college, right? And she said they're reading at a grade 7 level, man. Okay, grade fucking 7 level. You know how embarrassing that is as a 16-year-old, because here a 16-year-old is looked at as a child, but in the Caribbean it's a bigger deal, man. That's a grown man already. We look at them as a young man. When I was 16, I was a young man. When I was 15, I was a young man. When I was 14, I was a young man. You know, there's no, oh, he's 14, he's a kid. No, these things goes out the window after you turn 12. But anyway, back to this. And that's a curse, okay? That's a curse. And it's happening on all levels when it comes to race also, right? It's happening, as long as you're over here in the West, by the way. It's happening to the blacks, it's happening to the whites, it's happening to the Asians, it's happening to the South Asians, it's happening to the Middle Easterns, whomever. As long as you bring your children over here and they're exposed to technology, it's a wrap. And now you see the technology is spreading, okay? It's spreading, and even the Caribbeans and other places that used to be, and even in Africa, right? On that continent, places that used to be highly regarded as a place where education is viewed and being put on a pedestal, which it's supposed to, on in the world in general. But now you're seeing a fading in retaining information, right? Due to the fact that it's at your fingertips. These kids, if you tell them to do some research, they cannot research. They're gonna ask AI, and the system has been being watered down through their parents too. Because when Gen Z start having children, man, it's a wrap. Because they were introduced to fucking technology, and the technology was introduced to the children. They're children who don't know anything about the world that we came from. Okay? So
performance goes down significantly.
Right? So that's where we are in the world, where children are getting dumber. So I saw a video of them, of some guy interviewing people, telling them to read, and they couldn't even, they don't know the word silhouette. Right? Little fucking tricky words that I used to get my ass whooped for back in the day. And that's another thing. The discipline has been gone from schools, right? First time I came to school in the West, I heard people cursing in front of teachers. I heard teachers cursing. Like, these are like dirty words I'm talking about, right? This is not a thing where I'm from. You cannot curse in front of a teacher. That's automatic expulsion from school, right? And now, she told me, my friend, that now children, when you send them home, that they really want to go home. They don't want to be in schools. So like we've been saying from time, school is nothing but it's a waste of time, okay? And the fathers and mothers should be doing the schooling, right? Because I know it's impossible for that to happen because mother and father have to go to work, especially in your low income neighborhoods. So you generation after this generation, you're fucked. Okay, you're done because you can see the mentality of this new generation. They want things right away. That's why the AI and all that stuff and the chip is gonna work because people want to retain information right away instead of like trying to go and look up things and try to learn. They don't want that. They want everything at your fingertips, man. And the Heavenly Father said this a long time ago, man. Right? This is what's supposed to happen. Teach your children. Exodus 4. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. Bear with me. Okay, 4. And I think it's down. This is what we're supposed to learn. We're supposed to learn this education. Because you see, the Edomite education is failing. Right? It's not meant for you, man. So like, yeah. It's not meant for you, you Israelites. All right? The commandments is what brings life. The commandments is what breeds intelligence. The commandments is what breeds, what's the word I'm looking for? Education, right? You Israelites, now you're pretty much you're wandering in a land where you think it's yours, right? The education that you've been taught, it's turning against you. You're getting stupider, right? You can't retain information. Your cognitive function is off, right? Due to the fact that the man that's ruling, right? So this is what the Lord said. Now, therefore, in Deuteronomy 4, therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto judgments, which I teach you for to do them, that ye may live, right? And you see our people, they're dead. They're dry bones, man. Right? If you read the scriptures every day, there's no need for education. If you teach your children the Bible, talking to you jakes, okay? And you have to come to the priests, the real men who teaches the scriptures properly, and then you can teach your children what they've taught you, because this is all about a spirit. The spirit is in the elders. The spirit that's in the men that's preaching this word in sincerity and truth, right? That's who the true educators of this nation, right? We've lost our culture. We've lost our cultivation, and it starts with the words, right? These words that I go and possess the land which the Lord thy power of your fathers give it to you. Okay, and this is all in the curses. Let me drop down. I think 20 something has to be in 26. No. I know it's in 4 and I'm trying to rush through it, but I'll just get right to the point. Deuteronomy, teach to your children. Is it Deuteronomy 11? Yep. Deuteronomy 11 and 19. And ye shall teach them, which is your children, right? Speaking of them, when thou sittest in the house, when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, right? So this is talking about the law, statutes, and commandments. Because this is what breeds education. This is what breeds culture. This is what breeds intelligence. This is what breeds that spirit in you for you to seek out knowledge, right? So you're supposed to have this in your heart, which is your mind. And this is supposed to be handed down from generation to generation. And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house and upon thy gates, right? And this is talking about the scriptures, right? Now, back then, we had that system, but now it's in our hearts, okay? And any man that you see that's in this truth of ours, he is a well-educated man. And did we go to any high Ivy League schools? No. Did we go to any university? Most of us didn't. I didn't. Okay, we didn't go to college, but here we are, reading at a university level, researching, speaking, right? And the ones that went to all these university and all that stuff, you see them in the world, and they're pretty much they're wanting. right? And thou shalt write them upon the doorpost of thine house and upon thy gates, that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. Right? So this is what we're dealing with right now. A lack of intelligence. And the Lord is the one doing that, rotting these putting a rot on these children's brain. Right? And that's how you know these are the characteristics of a nation falling. Right? This is the generation where you're seeing the where people are worried for the next generation to come, right? Because if this is where we are, technology is at an all-time high, but the education and the cognitive function is on an all-time low. There's something wrong. Starting with you, Jakes, right? Because you've been on this level for a long time, man. But now you're seeing it spreading to not just you, it's spreading onto the other nations, and that's the curses. Let's get Deuteronomy, man. Deuteronomy, I think. Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Right? So I'm tackling two things at once. I'm talking about you, Jakes, and I'm also talking about you other nations. And the Lord thy power will put all the curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. Because you, Jakes, you're in this we're under the curses where yes, we're dumb as fuck compared to what we used to be, right? But even in our dumbest state, we're still great, right? But now we're seeing these nations who's being put on a pedestal, and now you're seeing them being stupid, right? You're seeing the children, that YN culture is creeping in, right? All these kids, all they want to do is play video games all day, man. No one goes outside. No one try to. If you ever notice those jobs that used to be, people always talk about, no one wants to work, but these little nigglets, and when I say nigglets, I'm not just talking about you Israelites, okay? I'm talking about you other nations too, man, right? Because all of you are lumped in one boat. You're all Babylonians to us, okay? All they do is play video games, and stay in the fucking house, stay in their room, and watch whatever they want. Talk to their friends, talk shit. They don't work after school. Like working after school. This is the thing. It builds character, okay? It's not about money and all that stuff. It's about you pretty much structuring your life as a young man, okay? You might have a little girlfriend or whatever. You can take her out to McDonald's, whatever you little nigglets eat, right? You're a man who have money in his pocket, a man who take care of his business, right? These are very good characteristics as a young man, right? But you're seeing the opposite of that right now, and the Lord is the one doing that. So Esau, Edom, your kingdom is finished, right? It's numbered, and we're seeing the end of it. Shalom.